All right, hi guys. I am headed home because I don't feel good. Today you're going to do a short lesson on simplifying square roots. This first part, something I need to remind you is that you're watching this video on your own, which means that you can pause it anytime you want to take notes or whatever. We're actually not going to take notes in your notebook. I mean, you're welcome to if you want to, but we're mostly going to be working just straight up on this worksheet. I want to talk about these real quick. Just as a reminder, a square root is the opposite of squaring something. So because 3 squared is 9, the square root of 9 is 3 times 3, which is 3. So the square root of 9 is 3 because 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay, same thing here. The square root of 16 is 4. You could also break down the square root of 16 and say, well, that's 4 times 4. And I'm looking for pairs of things multiplied together. This is a pair of 4s, so the answer is going to be 4. These are just square roots that we know. We know the square root of 9, we know the square root of 16, but things we don't know are stuff like the square root of 96 and the square root of 216. So if you've made it this far and you're not faking watching this video right now, congratulations, because you're about to find out that half the assignment is going to be taken off. If anybody you see is doing the full assignment, let them. They didn't watch the video, they're welcome to do it. So it's not going to be odds or evens, it's just going to alternate. So 2 and 3, you want to circle. And 6 and 7. 10 and 11. And then on the back side, we're going to do 14, 15, 18, and 19. And then 22 and 23. Okay, so we're going to start with a pretty easy one that I'm going to help you with. We're going to start with number 7. Simplifying square roots is just like simplifying fractions. Technically, like if you had something like 2/4 or you have 1/2, these are both 50%. They're both 0.5 if you put them in a calculator. It's just this one is simplified. The same idea with square roots. With square roots, you make it into a factor tree. So if you're bad with figuring out what goes into something, then you're going to definitely want a calculator today. The square root of 45, 45 is 5 times 9, and 9 breaks down to 3 and 3. So here, we can look at this in a few different ways. You can think about this as like the square root of 5 times the square root of 9, and the square root of 9 is 3, so this answer is 3 times the square root of 5, and that's the answer. Another way to think about it is that you're taking pairs of things out of the square root. So here, when it breaks down to a 3 and a 3, and that's as far as it can go, this is a pair. The pair goes on the outside, the leftovers go on the inside. Either way, it's 3 times the square root of 5. If you ever want to check and see if you're doing something right, here's what you do. In your calculator, you're going to first hit the square root button, which is you hit second, and then the x squared button, like really right light above it, is a square root sign. So you're going to hit that one, and it'll put a square root on your calculator. And then you're going to put in the square root of 49. Now the square root of 49 is 6.708 something, but which makes sense because the square root of 49 is 7, so it makes sense that it's a little less than 7. And then to see if I'm right with my reduced thing, I'm going to take 3 times the square root of 5. See how it's the same thing? That's how I know that I'm right. So make sure that you're checking your work with a calculator. We're going to try again. Let's try this 216. That one's going to be more complicated. Okay, so what goes into 216? Let's say that you have no idea what goes into 216. Well, we definitely know that 2 goes in there because it's an even number. So I'm going to take 216 in my calculator. I'm going to divide by 2. It's 108. Well, I know 2 goes into 108 again, so I'm going to divide by 2. Now I'm at 54. And if I divide 54 up, I know this one now. This is 6 times 9. And then 6 times 9, let's see, 6 breaks up to a 2 and a 3. A 9 breaks up to a 3 and a 3. So here I've got a pair of 3s. I've got a pair of 2s. And then I've got an extra 2 and an extra 3 that don't have a pair. So when I put this together, I'm going to put the pairs on the outside. So that's 2 times 3 on the outside. This one comes from here, and this one comes from here. And then the square root symbol. And then on the inside is the stuff that's left over, which is another 2 times 3. So this one is actually 6 times the square root of 6. And I can check my work and see if I'm right by taking the square root of 216, which is 14.69, hilarious, and then multiply it by 6 times the square root of 6, which is the same thing. See that I'm correct. So again, the numbers that go on the outside of the square root are the pairs, just one of the pairs. Just like the square root of 4 is just 2, not 2 times 2, it's just 2. And then the leftovers that don't have a pair go on the inside and get multiplied. All right, I'm going to do 2 more with you. I'm going to pick some from the back this time. All right, let's try this one, 18. This time, the only difference is it's 9 times the square root of 125. If you break that down, let's see, 25 times 5, I guess. That works. And then if I break down 25, that's 5 times 5. That's as far as I can break them down. I've got a pair of 5s because it's a square root, and then one leftover 5 that doesn't have a pair. So I'm going to leave the 9 that was out front. I'm going to take a 5 from this pair, that goes right there, and then inside the square root are my leftovers, this 5. So my answer is 45 times the square root of 5. Again, I could check my answer. 9 times the square root of 125 is 100.62. And 45 times the square root of 5 is also 100.62, so I'm right. Okay. This last one, let's try 5 times the square root of 180. This time I want you to try it first. If you don't know what you're doing, you can watch the video with me and do it with me, or you can go back and watch a couple of the previous problems again and make sure you understand it. These aren't long videos. So right now, you should be trying number 15 on your own and pausing the video. So pause, pause, pause. Stop watching it. Go ahead and try. Try something. Just try it, guys. Just try. So hopefully you've paused and you've tried it at this point, and if you haven't, you're a stinker. What multiplies to get this? Let's see, 180, definitely 2 and 90. And then I recognize that 90 is definitely 9 times 10. 10 is 2 times 5, and 9 is 3 times 3. All right, so it looks like I've got a pair of 3s, I've got a pair of 2s, and I've got a leftover 5. So the outside already had a 5 by it 5 times, and then I'm going to take the pairs, that's 2 and 3, and my leftover goes inside the square root, which is 5. So that's 5 times 2, which is 10 times 3, which is 30. 30 times the square root of 5 is my answer. I'm going to see if I'm right. In my calculator, I'm going to take 5 times the square root of 180, 67.08. And then I'm going to take 30 times the square root of 5 and see if I'm correct, which is also 67.08, so I am correct. I'm also putting the answers up on the treasure chest, but every single problem should have work shown like this. Of course, not the X'd out ones, because you don't have to do those. But if somebody skipped the video, then go ahead and let them do all 24 problems. That'll be fun for them. All right, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow.